Malaysia is a multicultural, high-income nation with some high-tech infrastructure. Although there is currently a 4.6% employment rate, hiring is still done with great caution by firms. Employers need employees with education who are also creative, good at solving problems through communication and are team players. Additionally, Malaysian workers are overworked and have the worst work-life balance worldwide. Kuala Lumpur was ranked 47th out of so major cities globally in the best cities for the work-life balance 2020 research for factors that made working and living in a city easier. Kuala Lumpur, however, fared better during the pandemic's height. It had the fifth lowest expected unemployment and was listed at the 13th least affected by the pandemic. Why is it important? Because employment brings in money for low income families. They cover the cost of food consumed at home, lodging, utilities, and other expenses. To determine each family member's part of the overall expenses, the cost is divided by the number of people living in the home. Employment is a key component of economic growth. Economic viability will always favor low jobless nations over those with high unemployment rates. Employment is also important for confidence in oneself and mental and physical health.
Scope of topic. Unemployment is very important issue for every country, especially developing countries with a tremendous population. High unemployment means the labor resources are not being used efficiently. In consequence, full employment should be a major macroeconomic goal of the government. This essential issue often being included in the government policy or agenda for parliament debate and discussion year after year. After a long period of discussion and debate, it seems no ultimate solution has been found to completely eliminate unemployment. Theoretically, industrial economy are cyclically sensitive such as when it expands, factors including employment, sales, price and profits will rise. However, when it contracts, downturns are inevitable and significant. When our national economy is in recession, many firms and companies are closed down, which will cause the unemployment rate to increase. The financial crisis started in middle 1997 affected the Malaysian economy. The impact was evident with economic growth measured in real GDP beginning to slow and registered the first negative growth since 1985.
My name is Jinesh Raj. So my part gonna explain about describing problem and sources. Unemployment happens for various reasons. A huge number of unemployed individuals are mostly fresh graduates with no practical experience. This is especially caused by the lack of balance between the needs of the current industry and the number of graduates from higher education institutions. There are just too many graduates each year from so many higher education institutes, but too few positions available for them to be employed, especially in certain fields that are already too full, such as medicine and law. This makes it harder for Malaysian graduates to get a job in the field they study, hence leading to unemployment. Most graduates are also not willing to step out of their major and find a different job that might also be suitable because of the lack of interest, and they also find that they would have wasted years studying for their course. Another reason unemployment among Malaysian citizens have soared in recent years is because of the increase of foreign workers in our country. Why are employers more keen on hiring foreign workers? The answer is very simple. It's because they are paid significantly less but are given more work to do. This is not ethical, however, it is often unnoticed because authorities are more focused on the welfare of Malaysian citizens. Most Malaysians know their rights are more difficult to exploit compared to foreign workers. For such reasons, most companies find it more beneficial and profitable to hire foreigners. Moreover, graduates with qualifications will definitely cost more to hire instead of foreign workers with less than no qualification. This may benefit a company, however, it has a huge impact on the country's economic status. The unemployment rate in Malaysia is increasing year by year. Malaysia unemployment rate for 2021 was 4.61%, a 0.11% increase from 2020, whereas in 2020 it was 4.50%, a 1.24% increase from 2019. Unemployment had also become very common when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Companies were laying off their employees to cut costs. This only increased the number of unemployed individuals in Malaysia. After the pandemic, physical health issues of individuals were becoming a major point for hiring. Those with health issues were being rejected from hiring as they might catch the ongoing virus easily or might not be able to perform well. Only those with almost perfect health were being considered for hiring. Furthermore, gender discrimination is also a reason some are still unemployed. This can happen to both men and women. Although a larger percentage of women experience this, men are often rejected for jobs they are generally seen in feminine, such as an air host, makeup artist, and nurse, whereas women are often rejected for jobs considered masculine, such as engineer, pilot, and mechanic, to name a few. This makes it difficult for them to find a job in the field of their education and interest. Without any other qualification, they might not able to find another job, making them not only waste years of studying but also end up unemployed.
Unemployment is a critical issue that affects not only the economy but also the social fabric of a country. In Malaysia, unemployment has been a persistent problem, with a rate of 4.6% as of 2021. The impact of unemployment on Malaysian society is far-reaching and affects not only the unemployed individuals but also their families and communities. One of the most significant impacts of unemployment is poverty. The loss of income means that unemployed individuals and their families struggle to make ends meet and are often forced to rely on government assistance and charity. People who are unemployed and do not have any other source of income often rely on their savings or borrowed money to fund essential costs such as food and living expenses. This loss of independence and dignity can be devastating, leading to increased stress and mental health issues. In addition to poverty, unemployment rates in certain areas often lead to higher poverty rates and poorer neighborhoods that amplify the societal impact of unemployment. Communities with high unemployment rates are more likely to have limited employment opportunities, low quality housing, fewer available recreational activities, limited access to public transportation and public services, and underfunded schools. To illustrate, they live in high-cost areas but do not have jobs. This causes difficulties in continuing life as there is no money to cover the cost of living. Furthermore, unemployment can lead to a loss of social mobility and the perpetuation of inequality. Without access to unemployment, individuals are unable to acquire the skills and experience necessary to advance their careers. This lack of mobility reinforces existing power imbalances and exacerbates income disparities.
Subsequently, the lack of a stable income can result in difficulty accessing healthcare and other necessities, leading to poor health outcomes. These health difficulties frequently lead to increased doctor appointments and medicine used to manage health conditions, which cost money. For instance, many people rely on their work to offer health insurance, so when they are unemployed, they are unlikely to have access to health care. In other words, being unemployed can raise a person's risk of future deterioration in health since they frequently skip health-related appointments to save money. The lack of employment opportunities can also contribute to a sense of hopelessness and disillusionment among the population, leading to decreased civic engagement and a lack of trust in the government and institutions. Moreover, unemployment causes mental health problems in society. Unemployment according to studies, increases a person's risk of developing depressive symptoms. To illustrate another mental health challenge that unemployed individuals often face is anxiety. This is because they have to worry about their financial situation and future. Therefore, it has a bad effect on society because it can take away their self-esteem and also lead to suicide attempt. Last but not least, unemployment strains family relationships. Individuals who are unemployed have lost family and marital satisfaction and increased family challenges compared to employed people. In that case, it is because they do not work and do not have enough money to cover responsibilities after marriage, such as gross expenses, utility bills, and others. Consequently, the stress of employment can negatively impact the well-being of spouses. Interrupting the life cycle by not working and having money clearly interferes with getting married for a variety of reasons.
Hello, it's Ashley here. According to the findings, it is shown that the decline of the economy had affected virtually on the youth population. The slow recovery of the economic and uninspired job growth also contributed to the decrease of youth population. The after effect of the global financial crisis (GFC) led to the growth of global youth unemployment rate from 11.7% to 13.1% from year 2007 to 2009. It then reached the highest at 13.2% at year 2013, which hit a record high. The next bad news is that the high rates of 13.1% will persist in the year 2016. The research also found that as compared to the unemployment rate of the adults, the global youth unemployment rate is at least 3 times higher, while it is 2 times higher to the overall global unemployment rate. These numbers reveal that the people who struggle to find ideal job is over 70 million people in the world. In addition, the growth of the market economies in the year of 2015 to 2017 had raised the rate of youth unemployment. This research was published by the International Labour Organization (ILO), which they also stated the future profit and future trend on unemployment will be influenced by the early youth unemployment, and the damage is to be seen as long-term. The group of society who will be affected directly is the youth who are newly graduated from the universities. The position of the graduates from higher institutions are being observed by the Ministry of Education's Graduate Tracer Study. The study aimed to follow up on the graduates' situation after 6 months from the graduation. They wish to find out whether the graduates will continue their studies or had joined the working world, or perhaps some are still admit looking for a job application. The sample of this study are the graduates from both public and private universities, community colleges, and the graduates from polytechnics. The result came back that 53% from all the graduates have successfully obtained a job and had started working, while 18% decided to stay to pursue higher studies, and 24% from it were still not able to find a job. The total number of this sample were 273,373 graduates for year 2015, where the major stands 45% of graduates who hold bachelor's degree and 43% are diploma. Among all the graduates, the highest unemployment rate was possessed by the bachelor's degree holders, with a record of 27.9%. According to the findings, the higher rates of unemployment rate are from the graduates who took the field of social sciences, and literature. Looking into the financial background of the graduates from lower income households is more likely to face difficulty in getting an employment as compared to the higher income household. The high rates of youth unemployment are also contributed by few factors, which are the inadequate of job application for certain fields, the lasting impression of socio-economic background, the incapacitating of social development, and the unreadiness of the graduate itself to join the working world. The findings also show that the income of the graduates who earn less than 2,000 ringgit a month stands at 54%. However, there are certain industries such as financial services and oil and gas sector who offered higher salaries at the entry level for the fresh graduates. Thank you, that's all from me.
It is observed that youth unemployment takes up a high percentage of the unemployed in Malaysia. The rate of unemployment, youth specifically, has started to creep higher as the growth in hiring starts to decline around late 2014. This could perhaps be due to wary business sentiments as well as managing or controlling their economic performance and execution. Its aftermath could cause businesses to restrain from expanding or enhancing developmentally in terms of workplace and labor. Considered susceptible, the youths are the one who are mostly affected. This could be in terms of being considered the last choice or the first to get sacked. This is due to mainly their insufficient training or experience, inadequate communication and soft skills, as well as greater information asymmetry in the labor market. Looking into financial background of those graduates, it is likely that those who are from lower income households are more likely to face difficulties compared to the higher income households. The high rates of youth unemployment are also contributed by a few factors, which include the inadequate job application for certain fields, the lasting impression of socio-economic background, and the incapacitating of social development, as well as graduates themselves are unprepared to join the working world. It is also seen that the country's economies have remained saturated with low to mid-skilled jobs. This could be due to domestic industries being steadfast in applying cost-effective and cheap labor strategies instead of sacrificing and engaging in improving. Considered susceptible, the youths are the one who are mostly affected. This could be in terms of being considered the last choice or the first to get sacked. This is due to mainly their insufficient training or experience, inadequate communication and soft skills, as well as greater information asymmetry in the labor market. Looking into financial background of those graduates, it is likely that those who are from lower income households are more likely to face difficulties compared to the higher income households. The high rates of youth unemployment are also contributed by a few factors, which include the inadequate job application for certain fields, the lasting impression of socio-economic background, and the incapacitating of social development, as well as graduates themselves are unprepared to join the working world. It is also seen that the country's economies have remained saturated with low to mid-skilled jobs. This could be due to domestic industries being steadfast in applying cost-effective and cheap labor strategies instead of sacrificing and engaging in improving developmental as a source of growth. This will also affect Malaysia's progress to initiate more high-skilled jobs and invite high-quality investments. Hence, this illustrates that there is a major skills shortage that could easily be a significant component of its economic growth. Hence, the steadily decreasing rate of employment has a great impact on the economy, particularly the youth and new job seekers.
In conclusion, unemployment is a major crisis and it might affect the economic condition of the complete nation. However, there are some possible ways to solve unemployment in Malaysia. First of all, the companies should provide training in the workplace. The employers should hire and train entry-level employees, allowing them gain experience and climb the career ladder. Nowadays, employers are looking for people with at least 1 year working experience to hire them. This change has made fresh graduates struggle to find a job. Other than that, the government should make changes in the education system. Universities and colleges should encourage students to be self-employed. Most people in Malaysia are not self-employed due to lack of professional knowledge. Therefore, they should be helped by giving motivation and practical training. By setting up various of vocational courses for undergraduates and postgraduate, will help them to find a job in the future. At last, the government also should support the small and cottage industries. Cottage industries form an important part of the economy. Moreover, it creates employment and drives incomes. Starting and operating a cottage industry business requires low capital and other resources, which allows many people to start such businesses. Overall, everyone should be aware of this issue, which leads to an economic crisis in Malaysia. There is a possibility to decrease the rate of unemployment in Malaysia under the condition that the government do essential corrections. However, our government have already started taking some steps in this regard, but there is a lot to be done yet.